Is there a risk that strikes could turn into a long, drawn-out conflict in the Middle East?
I guess you could say there's always a risk. You know, when there's war, there's a risk in anything, both good and bad. Look, it'd be wonderful if they'd negotiate really in good conscience, good faith and conscience, but they are not getting there.
Minister Arachi, we appreciate your making time to speak to us right now. We have a series of questions. We know that you are one of the few in that country who have the access to communicate outside of a country where there is a large blackout of communications at this time. First and foremost, our question to you, sir, is can you give us a better understanding of the situation on the ground there, the impacts that have taken place? And separately, can you confirm to us that the Ayatollah and the president are both still alive?
Well, there is no communication right now, but if Americans want to talk to us, they know how they can contact me. We are certainly interested for de-escalation. This is not our war. This is an imposed war against us. This is a war of choice by the United States, and they have to pay for that, and they do. I don't know why the U.S. administration insists to start a negotiation and then in the middle of negotiation attack, the other party. This attack was unprovoked, illegal, and absolutely illegitimate, and against the international law, and should be condemned. That is obvious.
And you know I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. And King had a basketball game this evening, so I'm going to make this video short because I'm definitely tired. But we got plenty of entertainment going on right now. And you heard what Trump stated. He was asked, is this drums of beating going to get carried out? And he said, you never know. Guys, they're going to ride this thing into the fourth industrial revolution. We already know. And make sure you keep a close eye because we know all this technology is going to be used in this drums of beating. So you're not going to be able to trust your eyes. And we already know we definitely have to listen closely to what we hear. And we have the Iranian foreign minister is doing an interview that reminds you of bin Laden. Remember, bin Laden was in a cave, guys. They was interviewing him in a cave. How was they getting any type of service? We have no clue. But the same thing with this interview right here. And it definitely smells fishy because he is sitting in that interview chilling. And all the leaders should be in the same place where he's at because he clearly has service and he's clearly safe. And again, during this time, you have to question everything and do not trust the eyes and ears. Let it sit back and let it play out. Because we had Trump says that the leader was killed. And our mainstream media is saying that Iran said that he's definitely dead. But then, of course, online, they're saying that he's alive. Now, we had the foreign minister say that we were in talks, and then all of a sudden, we were attacked. And guys, we know that's definitely not true. We see all this military buildup that we've never seen before. We knew it was going down, so they definitely knew it was going down. Remember, guys, this is a plan that moves in phases. And all of us who understands the seriousness of this, we know this is not going to end well. And if Iran can get Turkey on their side, we know it's definitely going to be trouble. Over in those areas, you have the original barbarians. When you understand history, you know what I'm talking about. And even though this is all bank funded, we know the sheep are going to fall for it. They're going to pick a side. And of course, we had the UK join America in the fight. And we had the UK Prime Minister says that British planes involved in defensive Mideast actions. And now we're going to sit back and wait and see what Russia and China has to say. Because we know eventually they're going to be bought into the drums of beating. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we had Dubai hit by Iran. And we see the Middle East is definitely divided. Few countries with Israel, and then, of course, a few countries with Iran. But anytime you're a country that's being attacked and you haven't been attacked in decades, we know the type of effect that it has on the minds of the people. The same way we know something eventually is going to happen inside the United States. And we know how do you control people? That's right, through fear. If you push fear, you can get away with anything. And we know it's definitely coming. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
The Iranian regime poses a direct threat to dissidents and to the Jewish community. Over the last year alone, they have backed more than 20 potentially lethal attacks on UK soil. So it is clear they must never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon. I condemn Iran's attacks today on partners across the region, many of which are not parties to this conflict. We extend our support and solidarity to them as part of our commitments to the security of our allies in the Middle East. We have a range of defensive capabilities in the region, which we've recently strengthened. It is vital that we prevent further escalation and return to a diplomatic process. We want to see peace and security and the protection of civilian life. Iran can end this now. They should refrain from further strikes, give up their weapons programs, and cease the appalling violence and repression against the Iranian people.
Continues now. There is new video in from Dubai. We want to share this with you.
We've been hit.
So that is a fiery explosion at the Fairmont Hotel, believed to be caused by an Iranian missile. There are several different angles on this. The closer you get in, you can see the flames on the ground floor, it appears. United Arab Emirates saying that it intercepted several Iranian missiles that targeted its country. This is from Dubai in the area. You can tell that by the skyscrapers that reach deep into the night sky. Local reports saying at least one person is dead by falling missile debris. Iranian state media, meanwhile, saying that regime had targeted American military bases in Qatar, in Bahrain, and in the United Arab Emirates.
And those joint U.S.-Israel operations in the morning. We're still waiting to get more details on that.
Jemana, we're also seeing a report across the terminal here that the Saudis say they've intercepted Iranian missiles in Riyadh and the eastern part of the country. You've lived there a while. I can't remember, other than that Israeli strike on that facility inside Doha, which was very controversial, was a targeted strike. I can't remember this many cities running for cover. This is something we see a lot in Tel Aviv and in Jerusalem. But when was the last time people in Dubai were worried about incoming fire? Is this a game change? And does this change the way the sentiment people in this region are going to view the United States?
Look, I think this is unprecedented times, especially for the citizens of the UAE who are used to geopolitical stability, economic stability. This didn't seem like something that could happen on your own home turf. And the fact that people are, anecdotally rushing to the supermarkets, it's difficult to order food now on some of the food apps because people are genuinely concerned about what's going to happen the next couple of days. So it is most certainly a game-changing event. And I will tell you one other development that is quite interesting to note for anyone who's been following closely regional politics. A phone call was just held between the Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and the UAE President MBZ. Those two have had a fraught relationship over the last couple of months over tensions regarding the future of Yemen and how to deal with the secessionists over there. It's been rumbling in the background, a lot of domestic coverage about how this sort of rivalry between the two sides is going to play out. This has actually served to to unite all of these Gulf states together in their mission to help find an off-ramp and a diplomatic solution to what could easily escalate into a very destructive regional crisis. And I think, many of the leaders around the Gulf states are going to try their hardest now to see how an off-ramp can be offered so that the escalations can be toned down. It is, crucial to their own economic plans as well that this doesn't get out of control. And we haven't even spoken about the oil impact on the region too. I heard you speak about it in prior segments. So all of that on the table. Say this is actually becoming what is turning out to be a really historic day. It is a fraught day, and I will just tell you anecdotally, myself, I'm sitting in Dubai, and I have heard blasts, and there are stories of people rushing to the supermarket now to stock up on what looks like is going to be a protracted couple of days of attacks and counterattacks. So the feeling is one of extreme nervousness. I should also say that the airspace is closed as well in Dubai, in the UAE, and other Gulf regions too have closed their airspace. So when we woke up this morning, I think there was maybe a little bit of a relief in the morning that nothing had happened overnight, because the last time the U.S. launched an operation in the June 12-day war, it was an overnight military exercise. This time around, it's all happening in the middle of the day. You had the Israeli-U.S. joint operation in the morning, and then you had the subsequent very swift retaliation coming through from Iran, targeting most of these U.S. bases around Gulf states. And actually, just in the last couple of minutes, we've even heard that Saudi Arabia have intercepted missiles that were directed over the eastern province and Riyadh. Eastern province, let's pay close attention to that, because obviously that is where a lot of the oil is situated, and Aramco facilities. Now, they say that they've intercepted the missiles that were directed at them. But again, the region is on a high state of alert. And I think the expectation is that this is going to go on for a couple of days. And also just waiting to hear exactly what and who precisely was targeted in those joint U.S.-Israel operations in the morning. We're still waiting to get more details on that.
We're going to have tremendous workforce availability. We're also going to have robots helping us. We're going to have a lot of robots helping us because we need it. And because we're going to town, we're building a lot between the AI and the auto plants. So we're going to need robots. We're going to have robots, but that's going to help us.
Robots hold steady hands in the operating room, and drones are redefining the future of war. Innovations of first-generation humanoids, factory automation, and autonomous vehicles have surged from private sector investment. Every one of these advancements is powered by AI. The robots are here. Our future is no longer science fiction.
Maybe crypto is actually built for the machines and we didn't even know it. And AI can easily handle private keys and easily understands transaction hashes and how all this stuff works. It is money that is built for computers, even before the computers to intelligently handle it were built. So I find that interesting. And, perhaps those of us who were involved in crypto pre-AI were kind of just getting the ground ready for the AI systems to have a fully developed financial system handed to them, for better or worse.
This could be perhaps the greatest revolution in financial technology since the birth of the internet itself. Many Americans are unaware that behind the scenes, the technical backbone of the financial system is decades out of date, many, many years out of date. You know that. Paul and others are straightening it out, but payments and money transfers are costly and take days or even weeks to clear. Under this bill, the entire ancient system will be eligible for a 21st century upgrade using the state-of-the-art crypto technology.
And as President Trump has directed, we are going to keep the U.S. the dominant reserve currency in the world, and we will use stable coins to do that.
I think stable coins could reinforce dollar supremacy, because with stable coins could end up being one of the largest buyers of U.S. treasuries or T-bills. So all of a sudden, if you are using a stable coin in Nigeria that's backed by the US dollar, you don't actually have to have dollars. It's on your phone. You can transact.
We are going big on digital assets. So Trump administration has made digital assets a priority. I've seen estimates that just over the short term, stablecoins could create $2 trillion of demand for U.S. Treasuries and Treasury bills. To put that in context, the number is probably about $300 billion right now.
We will take a close look at regulatory impediments to blockchain, stablecoins, and new payment systems.
The Department of Commerce is going to start issuing its statistics on the blockchain because you are the crypto president, and we are going to put out GDP on the blockchain so people can use the blockchain for data distribution, and then we're going to make that available to the entire government so all of you can do it. We're just ironing out all the details so we can do it.
Together, these world-leading technology giants are announcing the formation of Stargate. So put that name down in your books, because I think you're going to reduce the cost of virtually all goods and services. It'll make the United States a manufacturing superpower and the world capital of artificial intelligence and crypto. But with today's announcement, we take a major step to bring healthcare into the digital age. Instead of filling out the same tedious paperwork at every medical appointment, patients will simply be able to grant their doctors access to their records at the push of a button. Just a button and you're all set, and all the information the doctor needs will be immediately transmitted.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it will be one that is more leveraged to technology, and I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box, provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity, and if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
If we could tokenize all our ETFs, all $5.3 trillion of our ETFs, and provide that in a digital wallet, you could seamlessly, without fees, going from a digital currency or a stable coin or whatever that may be in your digital wallet and buy bond or stocks. And I believe that is going to be the future.
I believe we're going to be in the cutting edge of tokenizing bonds and stocks. It's coming. And we have the technology now. The fact that we are now moving forward in tokenization, every bond and stock, is crazy. Yeah. We should be moving towards that frontier. Obviously, there's winners and losers and all that, but we need to be prepared for the tokenization. And it would democratize more finance if we tokenized bonds and stocks.
Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, They're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Team save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Team save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Team goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.